Hey everybody, it's your anime pal, Jonny here.
Here's Jonny!
All Hallows Eve is nearly upon us once again, so I'd like to take a stab at recommending a creepy and spooky show to celebrate the season. If you're in the mood for something grounded, yet lightly peppered with a touch of the supernatural, then have I got a show for you.
Well, isn't that special?
Another is an anime horror series produced by PA Works and is based on the novel written by Yukito Ayatsuji. It's the story of a middle school student caught in the snare of a deadly curse that threatens to take the lives of his classmates and family.
I don't have friends. I got family.
And he must solve the mystery surrounding the curse before he becomes its next victim. The story takes place in a sleepy rural town called Yomiyama City, where our hero, Kouichi, transfers in as a third-year student at Yomi North Middle School. When we first meet Kouichi, we see him lying in a hospital bed with his grandparents and aunt attending to him.
Hi.
He suddenly fell ill before attending his first day of school, and we're told he'll be out for a month before he's allowed to return. After Koichi's family leaves for the day, his homeroom class officers and the head of countermeasures visit him to offer their condolences and well wishes on behalf of the class. While this is all well and good, their stated intention doesn't seem to match their tense demeanor, and you can't help but feel there's something more at play here.
I will be watching you.
The representative trio come off as reserved and guarded, with none of the warmth you'd expect from fellow classmates supposedly checking in on him. Even more unusual, they ask him oddly specific questions that border on interrogation, and you get the sense they're hiding something important from him, a mistake that will cost them all dearly in the end.
I immediately regret this decision.
Later that evening, we cut to Koichi entering an elevator and crossing paths with a mysterious girl wearing an eye patch. She comes off as gloomy and otherworldly, but something about her draws Koichi in, and he tries to strike up a conversation. The most he can get out of her are a few words and her name, Mae Misaki, which she utters tonelessly as she slowly drifts into a pitch-black hallway leading to the hospital's morgue. Fast forward a few weeks later, and Koichi finally starts his first day of school. He introduces himself in front of the class and is asked to take a seat, and as he does so, he notices that Mae, the strange girl he met in the elevator, is sitting next to the window towards the back of the room. Later that day during PE, Koichi is not allowed to participate with the rest of the class due to his illness, but this turns out to be a blessing in disguise since it gives him the opportunity to glean some important information from a classmate.
Who does number 2 work for?
He learns that there are special circumstances that sets Class 3 apart from the other classes, and there are specific rules in place that he's being kept in the dark about. He also learns that these rules relate to a taboo subject that no one is allowed to openly discuss. And if they do, they must answer to Akazawa, the student in charge of countermeasures. Slowly but surely, the imperfections of Yomi North Middle School are beginning to surface, and it's made clear to the audience that something is very wrong.
There's something wrong with us. Something very, very wrong with us.
To add to the oddness of the overall situation, Koichi discovers that Mae seemingly doesn't exist to anyone else but him. Is she a ghost or a figment of his imagination? Is this all some elaborate form of bullying that the entire class is in on? How is Mae related to the secret that everyone in Class 3 seems to know about except him?
You like scary movies?
To get to the bottom of things, Koichi approaches Mae once more, but receives an unexpected answer as well as a warning. Mae reveals to Koichi that Class 3 associates his name with a cruel and irrational death that took place at the school long ago, and she confirms that their classmates are indeed hiding something from him. She also claims that the school, and Class 3 in particular, is close to death, and it would be in Koichi's best interest to avoid her from now on.
Oh, okay.
Not only did Koichi fail to gain the answers he was looking for, but the mysteries of Class 3 have now deepened and become even more complicated. Not long after Koichi and Mae's ominous discussion on the rooftop, one of their classmates dies in a freak accident at school. and it's revealed that her mother died in a car accident that same day.
Yikes. Awkward.
This turn of events causes Class 3 to unfairly suspect Kouichi of breaking the rules and possibly causing the girl's untimely death. During lunch break, Akazawa tries to address the class's situation with Kouichi, but their conversation is put on hold as he takes an important phone call from an ally looking into some disturbing rumors involving his class. Unfortunately, that call is cut short when the person on the other line suddenly plummets to their doom.
What did you say?
Yet another victim in yet another gruesome accident. The recent string of deaths exacerbates rumors.
Now what does exacerbate mean?
Of a curse plaguing Class 3 and further solidifies the class's suspicions that Kouichi is responsible for setting it off. Will our hero solve the mysteries of the curse before his classmates turn on him? How does Mei fit into all of this? And is she even a real person? Will Koichi's story end happily, or will everything come to a horrifying conclusion? You have to watch the show to find out.
Alrighty then.
Another is a slow-burning thrill ride that utilizes its strong atmosphere, subtle foreshadowing, and bold direction to tell a compelling horror story. PA Works did a great job infusing the small-town setting of Yomiyama City with a sinister vibe that permeates each scene. The show's extended use of silence, its visceral sound design, and eerie music choices all contribute to an unsettling yet captivating tone.
That's cool, man.
Moments of levity are sprinkled throughout the series, giving the viewer much-needed breathers from time to time, but you never truly feel as though you've escaped the smothering air of foreboding and unease that thickens along the way.
That was scary!
From the opening shot up until the show's conclusion, we see glimpses of scenes that don't really make any sense at first, but as these shots build up over time, we gain a deeper understanding of the terrible situation that Kouichi and Class 3 find themselves in.
It's gonna make sense.
No, it'll be fine. Yeah.
We start to see how the curse operates, and we begin to recognize cues that foretell of the impending doom ahead. From resting shots on worn-down elevators, heavy glass panels, and distant waves, to focus shots drawing our attention to simple behaviors like a seemingly innocuous cough or someone quietly clutching at their chest. Each of these chosen moments are intentional and telling. They're clues that provide us with just enough information to offer an effective roadmap to the journey ahead, but they're never enough to plot out a direct route to our final destination.
Right. Where are we going?
Although these clues allow us to see that danger is imminent, we don't always know who the curse will claim or when, making these losses even more tragic and frustrating. It almost gives the viewer a sense that the curse is a character in and of itself, like a cruel, vindictive serial killer with a wicked, methodical streak and a strong desire to force its victims to adhere to the rules it makes up along the way. It takes lives with no remorse and does so in a strictly by-the-book manner.
Who was it? Who could it possibly be? Was it... Oh, I don't know. Say it!
This leads me to my main criticism of the show, which would be that the characters aren't given enough development, making it difficult to become attached to them in a meaningful way. They're fleshed out enough to make the story work, but we don't ever really get to know any of them beyond a surface level.
Well, that sounds fine to me.
The creative team does try to develop our main characters to varying degrees, but it's done mostly through telling instead of showing, so we don't get to see how the curse affects their ability to achieve their goals or if it somehow feeds into their flaws. Of course, it's understandable that major character development would be challenging when managing a large cast, a complicated plot, and you're given only 12 half-hour episodes to work with. But delving a bit more into the core cast's motivations and fears outside of the curse would have gone a long way to endearing us to these characters.
They'll love it.
One other issue I have with the show is that the rules aren't clearly laid out for Class 3 or for the viewers until late into the game, making it difficult for the audience to solve the overarching mystery alongside the hero. And the show itself doesn't play fair, withholding scenes that contain vital clues and information that might allow viewers to solve the mystery before the show's final revelation ties everything together.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
That being said, another is a horror story and not a whodunit mystery. And to be fair, the central mystery was interesting and fun to think about. The conclusion is ultimately satisfying. By the end of the series, the curse has put Class 3 through the ringer, and Kouichi makes a painful decision that literally affects the lives of everyone he holds dear.
That's cool, man. You're cool.
Although some of the creative choices may not work for some, especially the show's gratuitous use of blood and violence, and the team's decision to focus more on developing the story's style and plot over its characters, I'd still highly recommend this show for any mature viewers looking to have a spooky good time. Another was licensed in the West for home video release by Sentai Filmworks in 2012 and as of the making of this video, the anime can still be streamed through Crunchyroll. If you prefer, the manga and novel versions are available through services such as Right Stuff, Barnes & Noble, and Amazon. That's all I've got for you today, and to all my fellow fools and dreamers out there, Jonny.